Thank you for watching and sharing. Your
Okay, let's jump right in. Today we're exploring a truly transformative framework, Mama Lovey D's powerful guide for deep feelers navigating severe relational harm. If you've ever felt completely and totally drained by a relationship, but you struggle to articulate exactly why, well, this explainer is going to give you the vocabulary you need. But even more importantly, it's going to give you a physical recovery blueprint. We are moving completely away from abstract theories today and getting straight into the physical reality of how we experience other people. So ask yourself this: what actually happens to your body when an environment is poisoned? Think about that for a second. Today, we are going to completely reframe relational toxicity. We aren't looking at it as a character flaw in someone else or a puzzle you somehow need to solve. No, we're looking at it as a literal, physical, environmental pollutant. It is exactly like toxic black mold hidden inside the walls of a house. When you're exposed to black mold, it slowly suffocates your respiration, right? It just drains your vital force. Relational harm operates the exact same way. It is a suffocating poison that literally drains your nervous system and your will to live. Section 1. High-sensing souls. Meet the deep feelers. Now, Mama Lovey D isn't operating from some sterile academic theory here. She's a functional fitness specialist with 4 decades of observation under her belt, studying how our physical vessels actually hold on to environmental trauma. And she wrote this guide specifically for a group she calls high-sensing souls. If you are someone who walks into a room and notices the temperature drop before anyone even speaks a word, this is describing your lived experience perfectly. High-sensing souls are the deeply feeling ones. You're the firstborn fixers, the parentified perfectionists, the chronic peacekeepers. You are the folks who learned way too early in life that keeping everyone else comfortable and happy was fundamentally safer than ever pausing to ask, hey, how am I doing? You've basically been carrying the atmospheric weight for everyone else. Section 2. Environmental toxins, not medical labels. Let's look at how she completely shifts the paradigm. This is a massive perspective shift. We have to unlearn what society tells us to do when someone is causing us harm. We have to completely reject clinical, demeaning labels. We have to stop playing armchair doctor. And most importantly, we absolutely have to stop using mental health terms as casual adjectives to describe someone's bad behavior. It isn't a mental health puzzle for you to solve, it is environmental. Instead of diagnosing, we need to focus entirely on observing atmospheric shifts. This is strictly about environmental toxicity and recognizing the literal physical drain on your own nervous system. You do not need a clinical label to know that someone's behavior is destroying your life. I mean, wow, your ultimate detector isn't a medical diagnostic manual. You do not have to prove that someone fits perfectly into a specific little box before you're allowed to protect yourself. Your only required detector is observing what happens to your soul, to your physical vessel, and to your daily life when you are breathing the air in this person's atmosphere. Section 3. The Dirty Dog Detector, Spotting Toxic Patterns. So to help you identify this environmental hazard in real time, we're unpacking what Mama Lovey D brilliantly calls the Dirty Dog Detector. These aren't abstract concepts. These are tangible, everyday domestic red flags that prove an environment is toxic. We're talking about things like hoarding or domestic neglect, this belief that basic household care is somehow beneath them. It's the harsh, screaming critiques over minor chores, like losing their mind over a single water spot on a dish. It's the intentional sabotage of your milestones, always ruining birthdays or holidays with some sudden out-of-nowhere argument. It's the one-way communication where they text, "Where are you?" but they never, ever ask, "How are you?" It's zero generosity, like refusing to tip service workers because they just lack basic empathy. When you start seeing these behaviors, your physical environment is compromised. Period. Section 4. Systemic warfare. Post-separation harm. Now, unfortunately, just escaping the immediate domestic environment doesn't always end your exposure. Getting out of the house is often just step 1, which unfortunately can lead straight into devastating institutional neglect. And this falls exceptionally hard on single mothers. When a toxic relationship ends, the abuser will frequently withhold child support, force completely unnecessary legal battles, or even doubt parentage without cause, simply to drain your resources. This creates what Dee calls the 3-job trap, forcing single mothers to work 2 or 3 jobs just to provide basic housing and food, all while trying to raise heartbroken kids and manage their own severe nervous system stress. And Mama Lovey D points out that this systemic burden falls exceptionally hard on single mothers of color, who face compounding levels of institutional neglect and financial warfare. This systemic burden is so physically and emotionally crushing that it's actually a root cause focus of Mama Lovey D's advocacy for MAID, which stands for Medical Assistance in Dying Reform in Canada. She explains that society has got to stop throwing medical labels at people who are actually just suffering deeply from devastating environmental, relational, and systemic harm. Her stance is clear. Treating massive systemic failure as an individual sickness has to stop, and we need to recognize the physical toll of this abuse for what it really is. Section 5. Sacred Detox and Healing. D's Biological Method. So if we are carrying around all of this environmental poison and nervous system overload, how in the world do we physically release it? These biological method completely bypasses synthetic chemicals and man-made interventions in favor of a holistic, physical nervous system recovery. The steps are incredibly grounding. Step 1, sacred tears. Step 2, inner child forgiveness, which means forgiving yourself for any past harm caused when you had to self-soothe with toxic habits just to survive. And step 3, awakened living. This means nourishing your vessel exclusively through Mother Nature's medicine cabinet to build strong roots that will last a century. Let's talk about the concept of sacred tears, because it is vital to understand this. This physical release is not a performance for sympathy, not at all. It is a required sacred detox for your physical vessel. That heartache literally must be flushed out of your body. Your bed is a sacred space. It's meant for recovery, sleep, or intimacy. And sometimes after a sudden brutal discard or years of chaos, you are going to need to shed those tears in that safe space for weeks on end. It is a biological necessity, folks. It is absolutely not a weakness. Section 6. Golden Rules for True Peace. As we clear all this trauma from our bodies through this natural detox, we have to establish ironclad boundaries to protect our newly cleansed environment from future pollutants. Rule number 1, and please hear this, forgiveness does not require access. Society loves to pressure us into believing that to be a good, compassionate person, we have to welcome harm back into our lives. It just isn't true. You can completely forgive someone, you can understand their deep wounds, and you can wish them well from a very safe distance without ever giving them access to your home, your bank account, or your nervous system ever again. You do not have to subject yourself to environmental harm just to prove you have a compassionate heart. The core takeaways for your protection are embedded right here in these golden rules. Always observe behavior over empty promises. Talk is cheap. Let your boundary be your detector. Just watch carefully how they react the very second you say no. Never rescue adults from the consequences they repeatedly create for themselves. Recognize that financial withholding is a deliberate form of abuse. It's not an oopsie or mistake. Protecting your financial sanctuary and listening to your body's danger signals is your absolute fundamental right. And that brings us to this beautifully empowering promise. This should be your daily anchor for true natural peace. I will not abandon myself to be loved. That is the core of the Peaceful You Soul Promise. It means you are no longer going to confuse chaos with chemistry. You will not make another adult's healing your own life's assignment. And if you ever lose your way and forget, you will simply come back home to yourself again. Peace isn't boring. It is your natural, sacred state. So as we wrap up this explainer and you step forward into your own healing journey, I want you to consider this. Now that you know exactly how to detect a toxic environment, now that you truly understand that your body's physical response is all the proof you will ever need, what boundaries will you set today to protect your peace?
De-stress with D SOS on YouTube, community post tab.